at the match.
It's 5-1 from this position.
That's really a rarity in today's contemporary game. Parker comes out, slaps the 6 around, and also made the 7 disappear, so the top seed starts with an X.
You know, the only time he lost, he shot 247. He doesn't seem to be intimidated by that position.
He loves the ball from the top seed spot. Like Shady, who really overcame some adversity in game number 1 to a gutter ball, had a 6 count, and went on to defeat Dave Traber. And he doesn't get the fortunate carry and leaves a split here in the opening frame.
Right. He says, we're going to start this way every time.
Hard not to be disappointed, but you can see it's written all over his face.
Well, in a situation like this, the first frame, you know, at the 410, you got to go for it then. I mean, you just try and clip that 4-pin on the left and slide it across. It can be done. It's probably about an 8 or 9 to 1 shot, but it can be done.
You can see multiple bullet holes in the side of the building, piercing the upstairs and downstairs units.
A little straighter. And you aren't going to make it hitting right of the 4.
No, not too often.
Maybe Joe Berardi in the days we used to throw at 35 miles an hour, but
that's not the way he wanted to start the match, but he didn't want to start with a gutter ball last game and overcame that.
Maybe he just needs an open frame to kickstart.
Well, you know, in the midst of a heated match, the adrenaline's going, the speed picks up a little bit. In between, you settle back down, and the speed reduces just a hair.
Gave him plenty of room, and ends up with a strike. Yeah, I think the speed was a little bit better on the second shot than it was on the first.
And if he starts striking, it will increase. I mean, he really can't throw it too hard because his ball's rolling out anyway. He's going to wind up in the pocket.
And went through the catch where the sticker was sitting and struck a 38-year-old.
Bohn with 5 professional titles. Average 236 on his pair of lanes. He gives it plenty of room. And it was a very classy shot there. Confident shot from the top seat.
And interesting, you know, this is the lane that gave Scott Devers trouble, and Parker picked to finish on a classic style here. Pushes and steps right at the same time. Head is steady. Into the pendulum swing. Back is slightly forward, but somewhat upright. High swing over his head. Watch the deep, deep knee bend and long, long slide. Boy, just a perfect form. In balance all the way through. See that the left foot come way over to the right there.
Plenty of roll here, and actually too much. 6-8 is the answer on lane 33.
And just as David Traber gave an opening to, as Mary Bohn looks on, gave an opening to Mike Shady, Parker Bohn does here. This was the undoing of Mark Turney. He had the 4-9. He had hit a little bit tight. Cuts right through. Boy, that ball didn't even get close to the 8.
Wiggle of the 6, but that didn't really get the job done. Parker with a little more speed. Oh, classy shot by Parker Bohn, who fired up after making the 6.
Ball does that fire him up, Bohn? See what that does to Shady now. Hard and straight, flips it on the right. Perfect.
Jury selection began this morning for the
His
trial of
reaction?
Nadine Menendez. She is the wife of former Democrat Senator Bob Menendez, who was convicted last year of accepting hundreds of thousands of dollars
Close to
worth
winning
of
over the
bribes.
last year and a half. Just hasn't been able to get the job done. Shady bounces back with a solid shot on lane 34.
And just nice speed, you know, as long as he keeps that speed up, he's in the pocket.
Shady trailing by 9, but he's got the double up on the board now.
And the strike takes the lead.
Timberlane Middle School in Pennington
The bowler always
participated in
does
the
that.
St. Aldrich
I mean, he can't see the score or anything else.
40
Most of the
students
time, they got a
staff
computer
members
going on there.
alongside.
They're the best mathematicians in the world.
Raise money for the fight against
Parker
childhood
disposing of a piece of
This
tape,
is
so that would mean that the thumb might be swelling up a
Timberlane
little
has
bit.
hosted a St. Aldrich fundraiser. Last year, the school raised almost $31,000.
Shady for 3. Oh, the messenger. Relax. It's only the 4th frame.
I get excited.
I know you do, especially when you see that head pin flying around.
I never saw that. Watch this head pin like a bullet goes to the sideboard, comes back off that kick back there. The 10-pin never had a chance.
Looked like Bobo Brazil off the ropes, didn't it? Oh, my.
Oh.
Extra room with that shot.
Step
And
in
he's
seven.
shaking his head. Man, 4-pin just whistled around the 7.
Well, at 45 feet, it was none. I mean, it was
45
hanging
feet, it's on the one board.
It was hanging on the edge at 45 feet.
Step into the gardens of tomorrow with 6 ABCs, flower
Well, you
show
take a look at the rest of that record of the championship round. If you subtract 5 and 1 from the top seed position,
He's had trouble.
to say the least.
Well, he hasn't won since the fall of 1990 when he won the Milwaukee ABC tournament up in Milwaukee.
All he has to do is think back a year ago in the semifinal game. He bowled his lowest game ever, career-wise, in the championship round against Mike Shady, the final 226 to 143.
On this paraphrase.
Shady with the hammer, he has the string. And meanwhile, Parker needs to get back on track.
Mornings made easy. Gotta have a
He did. Classy bowler Parker is. He's 28. Shady's 26. You know what the sad part of that is, Ted? That together they're only 3 years older than I am.
It's a welcoming office.
And I'd take them over you, I think, probably at this point.
Well, probably at this point.
I know I'd like to
Maybe a
stick
safe
with you,
bet.
but I think I'm going to bail out.
And now, that's all I do.
Insist on quality. Insist on affordability. Insist on universal dentistry.
Oh, he just starts throwing it better and better and better.
Mike Shady, 3 years a professional. He said he was on a 3-year program.
Well, you know, the difference here, though, is that the one bowler down there knows that he can win. And the other bowler just thinks that he can win. So Shady hasn't done it yet. He always has 12 and working on 4 in a row.
Yeah, you've seen a lot happen through the years after the midway point in the title match.
Insurance companies try to cheat you out of what you deserve, and some lawyers go along. We fight for every penny.
He's carrying everything, though, Dan.
That
He's not
5
leaving
in there.
anything.
An explosion on the left-hand lane off the hand of Mike Shady.
It comes in light. He gives it so much room. Sometimes you leave a 10-pin on this hill. Not a chance. But he's put Parker in a must-strike situation.
Because 2 syllables, 7 letters, so much meaning. Because is an explanation, an answer to the
Oh, no break,
Oh,
no carry.
7-pin
stand.
carry.
Parker kind of head down, head back, and shoot the spare.
And his messenger came off the sideboard. The head pin came off, and in front of the 7-pin missed it where Shady got his.
Because it can do more.
Watch the head pin.
Get ready for healthcare
It goes to
that
the right.
goes
It
beyond
comes
care.
off
Because
and kind of turns in midair. If it hadn't
appreciate
turned, it would have got the 7-pin.
Why settle for any meal deal when you can have one you really want? Wawa's $5 Big Breakfast Deal gets you any sizzling breakfast
That
sandwich.
shot was industrial strength. That head pin ricocheting off the wall, but not getting the job done. Coming up next from the Chasker Valley Golf Club, live coverage of the Bell Atlantic Classic. Of course, they'll finish up the 54-hole event tomorrow on ESPN, beginning at 5:30 Eastern Time.
That's a big shot for Parker. Now 22 pins. And Shady just looks like he can strike forever.
The 2-month-long tournament features 6
Or yet to
teams
miss the
packed
pocket.
with top women's basketball.
You have to have the carry. And he does miss the pocket for the first time, and that's a major league opening for Mike Shady.
Wow, and that's what he did when he bowled that 140 game against Shady on this pair of lanes last year.
Changing the game moving forward, changing
3-9-7.
what it means to
3-7-9.
pay and treat women's athletes with our equity,
What's the
with our
release?
pay,
See if we
with
see
our
anything.
experience. I feel like we're revolutionizing the game. Yeah, it's
Boy,
time. So if they
even his bad shots look good. Just, I couldn't see anything that he did wrong. He just didn't finish like he had before. He's going to throw hard at the 2 pins and hope for the best. 8 out. Mr. Shady is staring right now with a couple of strikes here at his very first title.
A trip to the Firestone Tournament of Champions, stepping into the PBA winner's circle. This is every player's dream at the professional level, to win a national tournament.
On the podiums doing what they're supposed to do. They look cute.
Yes, look how well behaved. The American Kennel Club says French bulldogs are so long.
She's the
He's put the stamp of approval on it, that's for sure.
He's got the whole lane on 34.
You know, we have a scoreboard, man, as we see his reaction to this shot. See that follow through right, whistled past his ear. And in each block, your scores are put up. The names are put up, non-champions in red, champions in black.
As the kids say,
You know, it's a small thing. His name is going to change from red to black this week.
From the University of British Columbia, it says
6 in a row, and he's taken a 47-pin lead. He has this title firmly in grasp. And he knows they're raised. You're right, Michael. He knows that his time has come out here on the national tour.
His crowd knows it too, as they are sharing in his excitement.
not entirely realistic.
Parker Bohn knows it as well. What a disappointing finish to a brilliant bowling week when you average better than 230 and lead a tournament by almost 300 pins and you lose. Well, the top seed on the PBA Tour is now going to have lost 14 times and 17 tries.
Some of them actually said they had symptoms of mental health concerns as well.
Just finished up doing the ladies last Thursday night, and I'm going to say off the top of my head the top seeds are 2 and 12 out there.
Says something about something, doesn't it?
Says you better qualify second or lower.
And yet, if you ask anybody out here, they all rather qualify first.
It's a question of economics. Parker Bohn, back-to-back outstanding performances here at Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl, and it will continue. No left-hander to win at Earl Anthony's Bowling Center. Earl was as puzzled as we were when we asked him that.
Maybe he needs to come out of retirement.
I'm going to say the great one was not up for that. I mentioned the ladies' tour just momentarily, and the Brunswick Open finishes off their 1992 spring tour. Comes up live on Thursday night, beginning at 7:30 from Hoffman Lanes in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. And our next telecast for the PBA Tour will come and it'll involve the seniors at the Showboat Senior Invitational at Las Vegas, Nevada at the Showboat Bowling Center. And airtime there is June 25th at 7:30.
Well, Shady just
Shady.
saved the free.
Well, you remember what it felt like when you won your first title. How long did it take you to win, Mike?
I won my first year out of the 10th tournament, yeah. But it was a tremendous thrill. You never forget it. Like your first kiss or whatever, or your first hit in a baseball game, or your first home run or something. You never forget it.
It's been hard-earned, too, for Shady. He's had a couple of opportunities. Was defeated by John Mazza. Lost here to Del Ballard last year. He's been knocking on the door.
And he seems well in line with his 3-year program, you know, that win by a certain time, and he's done it.
It's kind of nice to just put that on as soon
He
as
needs
I
to step up those goals a little bit for the next 3 years.
I think the thing that's a real positive, too, is the approach in terms of getting in better shape physically and doing the things that you have to do to compete on a weekly basis out here, trying to improve your game, not only from the mental side, but from the physical side.
Well, he's been to see a sports psychologist. He's working on the mental side, as you said, the physical side, everything.
It's what you have to do to compete out here anymore, though. There's too much talent. Ring and 10, but it won't make any difference. It looks like a sigh of relief than it does jubilation on his part.
Well, the jubilation, I think, came 2 frames ago, you know, when he really realized that, you know, it was going to happen.
And by tomorrow, we overpower today. We're close to 70 degrees.
Mike Shady will have to get directions now to Fairlawn, Ohio. They'll be heading to the Firestone Tournament of Champions in April. And that in itself, a special thrill for any young professional.
Comes up and shoots back-to-back 240 games with opens in the first frame both times.
Mike Shady wins his first ever PBA title. And we'll
Awesome
head back to Earl Anthony's Dublin Bowl in Dublin, California in just one moment.